Of Twitter, once you will have signed up and started a new account, is that you have your homepage. And in your homepage, this is where you will get tweets pulled through from everyone that you follow. Occasionally promoted tweets come in there. And if you don't recognise a tweet from someone that you follow, it's often that they've retweeted something. So someone you followed has actually retweeted. So that will also come up in your homepage. And that's quite good because it sometimes introduces you to people that you might want to follow because they might be tweeting something interesting and relevant to you. There's the connect button, and this is basically where all the conversations happen. So this catalogues and logs everything that involves an element of conversation or engagement. So basically, if someone retweets you, if someone favourites your tweet, if someone mentions you, all of that will show up in this feed. And that's when you can monitor who's mentioning and talking about you and then get involved in conversations back with them. So it's just a really easy way of you keeping on top of all of your different conversations. The hashtag Discover, it becomes more useful the more you use Twitter. And it's basically what's happening on Twitter right now, tailored for you. So Twitter will learn all the things that you favourite and like, and through its very clever back end will then feed through things that it thinks that you'll be interested in. It's right, I am quite interested in those pancakes. They look really good. So that's quite good, but it's much more useful when you've really sort of been using Twitter for quite a long time. So maybe don't worry too much about that tab to start off with. And then there's the Me tab, and that is your homepage. So when people arrive at Hackney Social, this is what they see. These are all my tweets that we've done, and these are recent photos. This is basically a kind of dashboard of the number of tweets we've done, number of people that are following, that we are following, and the number of people that are following us. So this is the followers, our followers. This is who we're following. This is the number of tweets. This is a direct message tab. So if some people can send you a message on Twitter if they already follow you and you follow them. They can actually send you a direct message, which isn't seen by the world. So it's actually a way to send a private message to someone because you might not actually want to make it public. So that's quite useful. And then you can kind of edit your profile, change the design elements and change photos, etc. by using the edit profile button. You can also create lists. I don't tend to use these that often, actually. I mean, they can be quite useful if you particularly have a number of different interests within one Twitter account. You can create lists of, so for example, for Hackney Social, I could create a list that was food related. I could also create a list that was social media related. And you can just quickly pull up all of your favourites. The thing about your favourites is it's quite a useful way to log things that you might want to come back to later. So as well as just wanting to let people know that you think their tweet is amazing, you can actually favourite things that you think are interesting that you don't quite have time to check at that point, so you can just come back to them later. Then you've got the search function. There's a little bit more about that later in terms of how you use that maybe to find people to follow, etc. But you can search for people and both individuals and organisations within that. And then there's just another kind of edit profile tab there. That's your direct messages that's pulling up your list. So this is essentially similar information to what you can kind of find everywhere else, but just pulled up into the settings. And then this is the really important tab. This is the compose a new tweet tab. So when you click that, that's when you start writing a tweet. And as soon as you go over 140 characters, the characters will show up as red, so that you know that actually you can't do that tweet, you've got to try and cut it down a bit. And you can add a location and add a photo to your tweets as well, which is handy. And then this area is where Twitter suggests people that you might want to follow based on your interests. And then this is where the trends are logged, so things that are trending right now on Twitter. What that means is the hashtags that people are using they're really popular right now, and lots of people are using them. And just terms and terminology that are really popular right now on Twitter. I don't tend to use that often. I've never had anything trend. I've never had anything that's quite that popular. So those are all the basics. And there are some more videos that take you through some of the slightly more sophisticated elements of Twitter, but that's just everything to get you started.